Next up is Melissa.
Good evening, Mayor and City Council members. Thank you for your time. The proposed ballot language and the underlying ordinance leaves voters with the impression that the City Council is only accepting the recommendations of the Civic Assembly, no more and no less. We know by comparing the Civic Assembly's final report to the Council's underlying ordinance that this impression is false and misleading. For instance, both a bike park and a standalone wildlife conservation rescue and rehabilitation space were not recommended by the Civic Assembly. Furthermore, the ballot language around the dedicated space and facilities is exceedingly vague and could mean massive built infrastructure, an office park, and a visitor center. That these two high impact and land consuming uses were not recommended as standalone uses by the Civic Assembly, but Council has decided to move forward with them anyhow, is providing misleading and inaccurate information to the voters. And these two discrepancies are only two of several. With regard to the acreage ranges for amenities, there is no site plan or actual planning documents associated with the underlying ordinance or ballot language. Only vague concepts with varying ranges that may include 0 acres. Voters should know this, but it is not made clear in the ballot language. There are also many types of high impact uses and built infrastructure that would be permitted to be developed at Hughes that are not necessarily listed in the underlying ordinance and the ballot language, and could further be inconsistent with the Civic Assembly's recommendations. For instance, there are 40 acres that are entirely unaccounted for in Council's ordinance and ballot language. What will the 40-acre blank canvas be developed into? It is misleading to voters to not account for those 40 acres. Furthermore, if you add those blank 40 acres to other available acres, should the amenities not require the maximum acreage, then you have a massive blank canvas that has no real prescriptive use assigned to it. You could extend the bike park or add more buildings or perhaps an amusement style park, as long as you call it a park. The omission is misleading to voters too. Again, there is no site plan. There are other serious concerns I and others have about the Council's vague and non-prescriptive ordinance and ballot language. The false dichotomies when compared to the citizen initiative to protect and preserve Hughes as a natural area. And I won't even mention just how skewed the Civic Assembly focus group was. It was leading towards multi-use from the beginning, back when Council met in 2024. I would also like to remind this Council that back then, you got, except for 2 members that I see here, the Council did agree that they would accept the recommendations of the Civic Assembly. I don't see that happening, and I would really like to see Council put their money where their mouth is and really stand by those recommendations as they were listed in that final report. Thank you.
Thank you very much.